Hello, Wastelanders, and welcome to the Fallout feed. I am Andrew, and tonight we are joined by Dennis. Hello, Dennis.
Hi, Andrew. How you doing?
Very well, sir. Oh, you're sounding so buttery and thick tonight. Nice microphone, buddy. And Pat, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, Andrew. How are you?
Oh, you sound crappy. Where are you?
I'm in a hotel with terrible Wi-Fi.
Sorry, I don't mean to, besmirch your Wi-Fi and your.
It ain't my Wi-Fi. I don't give a shit.
Dennis. We're doing some Let's Plays. I think we've hinted at this enough over and over again. By the way, Pat, wonderful job. I know you've banked up to what, 26?
I'm like the 35, dude.
35. I banked the first like 15 and listened to those, and so I'm going to listen to the next batch here, and I like to binge listen to them like that.
Yeah, I think we're up to 25 live, and I've got another.
Nice. So 25. That's a good batch. That's like a good 5 hours of Pat in my ears.
And there's a stupid long one in there. I'm not sure if it's posted yet or not. There's one that went almost an hour just because I'm an idiot. It wasn't.
You're not sure who posted an hour. Hey, that's fine. My last two Bards ones were close to an hour each. I think I should have broken them each up and gotten a few more episodes.
No, it went okay. I actually finished that on this trip. I was.
Nice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. That was well done as well. I'm interrupting Michael's main quest because I haven't finished that in real life yet.
Yeah.
And I haven't done companions yet, so I'm not listening to Victor. So I listen to you and Colin. So mage and bards, very nice stuff.
You don't want to get it too far ahead of yourself, right?
Yeah. I actually caught up on main quest with Michael until like where I am in my roundtable character.
I can't believe you haven't finished the main quest yet, Pat.
I'm taking my time, dude.
And I'm surprised that you can, withstand the urge to rush through. When I first got Fallout, I was like, holy crap, we're organizing the round table. I got to hurry up and rush through the game really quickly so that I know what's happening so we can organize the round table and all that. But it's really awesome for you to really take the slow ride through.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been doing. I shared with. I think I shared it with both you guys on the Facebook Messenger. My dirty little secret that I'm sort of abandoning the role play just to kind of power through a bunch of achievements with this character. So I've got 55 out of 75, or something like roughly like 2/3 of the Xbox achievements with this character. I may just go ahead and try to get them all with this character.
It's going to murder me that Pat's going to get all the achievements before me.
I don't know. I'm not sure. There's a couple pretty tough ones. There's the Daedric artifacts.
You've done it before, though, Dennis, right?
I did it on the PS4. None of my Hearthfire achievements are broken on my Skyrim.
Did you also do it on a previous generation? How many times have you 100%ed Skyrim?
Twice, I think.
Wow.
Nice.
I've ever done. I'm not an achievement hunter. I don't really bother. I haven't even looked at my list. Like Pat was talking about it a few weeks back, and that's the first time I ever looked to see.
Well, to bring it back around to Fallout, I doubt I will ever 100% Fallout 4 because of the stupid Nuka World Arcade achieve. I think I could patience out the 100% happiness in a settlement because I think that's just like a few hours, but.
Yeah.
Because you could just sit there and mash buttons and like you did, it's like you were talking about reading a book or whatever. But I just can't imagine getting 100,000 freaking tickets in that Nuka World Arcade.
Well, there just has to be a bunch of locations for all the ticket rolls. They probably just put them in plain sight.
No, but the ticket rolls have like 800 or something. There's not 1,000 ticket rolls.
You're like 10,000 ticket roll, please.
Yeah, you're well, and I think I said on here before. I tried to cheat. To I used a cheater mod and gave myself tickets and then turned off mods and reloaded that character hoping that would kick in, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It knew, I guess it somehow knew that I had cheated to get them, or knew that I was still modded, or I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it clicks those off.
Achievements like that, it's just one of those grindy things where you just are like, all right, I'm going to do X amount today, and then go away from it, and then come back and just do it over a period of time.
If I get through the settlement one, I might do that. I mean, that's the way to do it. And like the Daedric artifacts is the same way in Skyrim. You got I think it's like 15 or something, so that's a lot. But Andrew, do you know, or either of you guys do? Does I assume like Wabbajack counts as a Daedric artifact?
I believe so.
Yes.
So I've got Wabbajack and that Sanguine Rose staff that summons Dorora.
Those are
And
fun to do too.
Yeah, those are pretty good. And I've got Meridia's Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreaker sword is wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good sword. Yeah. Although I kind of followed Michael's example and I'm going double daggers since I'm playing sneaky. Well, I mean, it's double daggers, or I mean, sometimes I go dagger staff or dagger spell, but if I'm going melee, I go double daggers.
I mentioned those two staffs work well together, but I've never actually. I don't like to double wield staffs myself. I think that's kind of a weird way to play. Like, that's totally fine if you're into that. But I just give them to my followers and take away all their other weapons, weapons that they use, and that is fun because they're constantly popping up. Like, what are those guys called? Dramoras or whatever?
Dramora and Atronax.
Yeah, and the Wabbajack just like will turn things into a rabbit.
Yeah, that's goofy. Yeah. I was running around turning Whiterun guards into rabbits just for fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
But I actually give my guy an Atronax staff, but I leave him his sword, so he conjures an Atronax and then he wades into combat. And that works pretty well.
Yeah. I like Frosty. I know that other people like the Storm or the other Atronax. The Frost Atronax is by far my favorite. I just like how he stomps in and just
Well, they're tough. I mean, they will take out some pretty nasty critters. I mean, if they run against like a fire dragon, then they could be pretty pretty short lived. But they'll take out a lot of other stuff.
One of my favorite combinations was if you go for the Dawn Guard, you can get an armored troll. If you get the armored frost troll and the frost Atronax going together, that's a good time. Yeah,
nice,
really fun. So. Speaking of Nuka World tickets and all that, Pat, is that something I should try to incorporate into my Let's Play? Because spoiler alert, I'm going to do a Nuka World, or I am in the.
I would say both you and the listeners might be a little bored if you try. I mean, you could do a little bit of Nuka World arcade action. But the tickets, I wouldn't think so.
Explain I'm sure I've stumbled across it, but I've never stopped. And are there actually active games to play?
There's like a skee ball thing and a basketball thing. What else, Dennis, is there?
I saw like those fuzzy heads that you knock down with baseballs.
Yeah, there's maybe 4 or 5 games, and they're made up. They're patterned off things like you'd play at a boardwalk or a circus or whatever.
Do they only activate after you repower the park? Is that the case?
I don't think so. I think they're active right up front.
Because I remember trying to shoot some of the things down, and they were like, either. I don't know.
Dennis, do you remember? I don't think it has to be because the powering the park is like one of the last things you do.
Yeah, I think you can start getting tickets before then. I honestly never have done that achievement because by the time that came around, I was already modding and my achievements are already gone.
Yeah.
And even when I attempted to turn off my achievements to try and go back or turn off my mods rather to do achievements, it wouldn't. It acted like I still had the mods active. And even when I did a clean install.
Really? Even with a clean install? Nasty.
Wow, it's like, no, not on the safe now and forever. No more achievements because we know at one point a mod was installed.
No, Dennis, are you on Xbox or PS4?
It was on Xbox. I did it on PS4, but then when mods came out, I switched over to Xbox. And the reason I did Skyrim twice is I blew up a PS4 and I had to start. It lost some of the games that I did achievements on, and so all my little hundreds, icons were messed up. So I had to go back into it all over again because I couldn't handle it.
How did you melt the PS4? How does that occur? Is that a common occurrence with PlayStations?
Well, I didn't use the ritual stone, but I somehow burnt it out. But no, I'm not quite sure what it did. It wasn't red ring of death or anything, but it just one day I booted up and it went just completely black, and it never worked ever again.
And how do you work with that? Is that something that PlayStation will honor? Can you contact the company and be like, hey, this just didn't reboot? Or is there like a limited 1-year warranty? I don't know what their warranty and stuff is like. How does that work with gaming systems?
Well, I'm sure with the company, it's probably not a year, but it usually depends on where you get it that they honor it. And I bought mine through Costco, and that was back when they had the unlimited return policy even for electronics. So even if it blew up 5 years later, you could take it back and get your money back. It doesn't work that way anymore, but back in the day, that's the way it used to go.
Yeesh. So you were able to cash it back in?
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. And then you got an Xbox instead, or do you still have a PlayStation? Did you get another PlayStation?
No, I haven't. I have another PlayStation. I used to play it all the time, and like I said, and when mods came for Xbox, I haven't turned it on since then, and that was what, a year or so ago. And I'm afraid to turn it on now because of all the damn Sony updates. It'll be updating for another year to try and catch up to all the auto updates it hasn't done.
So like, I don't even remember what have you played on PlayStation. Like probably No Man's Sky and stuff like that you couldn't do on Xbox. I'm trying to think of their exclusive games that.
Oh, you know, that's true.
They have a lot of exclusives.
I did turn on the PS4 to load No Man's Sky, but that was on for like 15 minutes.
It was a long time ago now, but it wasn't quite a year, I don't think.
It's long enough. Where there's a nice layer of dust on it.
Yeah, I actually had my PlayStation 3 on the other day. It was just to play a DVD, but it happened a long time, and I was like, oh, the old girl still purrs. That's very nice.
Yeah, no, I would go back to for some reason I go back to, even though there's more exclusives on the PS4, somehow I always manage to go back to Xbox games, and that's probably because all the old Bethesda games worked significantly better on Xbox platform.
Why is that?
It just has to do with Sony and not wanting to play well with others.
Jerks. So I went to try the Nintendo Switch today. Spoiler alert. Podcast is banked and previously recorded in the middle-late era. But I tried to go pre-order the Nintendo Switch today, and the clerk told me that the pre-orders had not started yet, and that I could sign up for a notification when the pre-orders actually start. And then I went on our Facebook group, and people informed me that no, they have already submitted pre-orders, and pre-orders have been submitted so long, in fact, that pre-orders are sold out, like pretty much across the country.
As of a few days ago, so I signed up for notifications on Amazon, and I never got a notification. Although I've also heard from some people that they've been able to pre-order on Amazon. So I think it's just kind of like Amazon probably has so many people signed up, they don't even send out emails. They probably just, like, whoever happens to be online at the moment when they're accepting a few will probably just get them. And then when I was looking, GameStop was actually, again, same thing, like, mid-January as we're recording this, GameStop was accepting them, but I was looking, it's like nothing that I really want is going to be live launch day. So I decided I would just wait. Because I don't care about. Yeah, I care about Skyrim, and if they have, of course, a Fallout, if they eventually get that. And
I'll tell you, if that system doesn't live up to the hype, man, there's going to be riots like Rodney King style, because everybody is so hyped up for that. It's.
I don't know why though. I mean, I'm excited itself, but I like Zelda, and the last two titles have not been my favorites, but I still enjoy the hell out of a good Zelda game. So I'm like, I was waiting for the Wii U this game, and it actually will be on the Wii U now. They're like putting it on both systems, but now that I know that Mario Kart and the Zelda will both be out, sort of, like, I think in either summer or something like that, and the Mario Universe game will be out in the fall, and I always enjoy a good Mario game, and I'm a sucker for those old Mario and Zelda games, so I don't know. I think
a lot of people are, because I think the overwhelming majority of people that are looking forward to it are all old Mario and Zelda fans. I mean, that's what Nintendo's built a huge business off of, and that's who supports them. So
I also like those Donkey Kong games. You guys ever play those Donkey Kong games? Those are fun as shit.
I can never get past the first level.
I'm terrible at all arcade games. None of those am I any good at.
No, Pat, the 4-player Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stand-up console in the arcade, fucking work of art, baby.
No, I noticed. I'm just no good. So I would get it. I mean, what I want it for is just portable Skyrim, because I have a PC laptop, but it's just not
playing. Evidently, the Switch.
Well, not even playing, just like being able to, like, take it on a trip or whatever. Where because I could take the laptop, but it's it's like, okay, you got a laptop and I got to unhook it for my Let's Play setup, and I got to bring a controller and the power cord, and by the time I travel and all that, it just kind of takes the fun out of it. And the Switch is, theoretically at least, it's going to be this little tablet size thing that's going to be pretty manageable. In theory, anyway.
The thing that you hook up to the TV going to be portable as well, so like you can just toss that in and actually play it on.
It's smaller than an Xbox, right? So I guess if you don't mind carrying, I think the idea is it doesn't have to be, but I'm sure it's like an Xbox. If you don't mind lugging it in the power, it's probably going to have a power brick the size of of an encyclopedia or something. But,
oh yeah, that's shitty. I didn't know how. I haven't seen it.
But I assume, right? And actually, we should probably share. Victor, who's usually pretty savvy about these things, is warning about people may want to wait for reviews just to make sure
he's being skeptical about it.
Yeah, and he's usually pretty spot on with that stuff.
Do I care? Should I care if I only care about playing that new Zelda game? That's Zelda and Mario.
No, it's probably going to be fine for that. It's a Nintendo game, right? It's going to be optimized for those.
Yeah, I think Zelda and Nintendo and Mario and is gonna be okay. But I really think people should manage their Skyrim expectations, especially people that are used to playing it on PC.
How will it be different, Dennis? What are your fears?
Well, it's just it's a Nintendo based engine, and they've never ever in their lives been able to compete with specs from PS or from Xbox. So just right off the bat, without having any great computer insight, you can tell that they're going to be a step behind, and you're going a step behind for what especially people have come up and started playing Skyrim Special Edition now, which has been optimized a little bit more and ironed out a little bit more and made to look a little bit better. And now you're going back to what from what I'm seeing it's going to be a 360 with a bigger T-shirt.
And how will that manifest itself on the Nintendo engine, the Skyrim? You say that it'll definitely be a step back, but what will I see that'll be different? Will it be longer load screens? Will it be a step back in graphics? Will it be what am I going to see?
Well, I think it would be all of those, because it doesn't have the pulling power of of the other machines.
And what else that I'm not considering?
Well, like your graphic. I mean, you said, but there's a lot of aspects of graphics that might be worse, right? It might be lower resolution, lower depth of field, shittier textures. Who knows, right? It could be any or some combination of all those.
And I mean, the control scheme, is a little bit concerning to me too. I mean, not that Bethesda games have ever been, Call of Duty or anything where how you had to have complete twitch skill to be able to manipulate it, but just the feel of combat and the way that it's going to process through their control scheme. I'm talking out of my ass here. I haven't been able to see work with the unit itself, but just from watching the way that they're playing it on on the go, it seems like that's a lot of control scheme to take away. You figure going from just a 360 or an Xbox One controller, and you're dumbing. It seems like they're dumbing that down without as much button manipulation. I think that again, without having seen it, maybe I'm wrong, but it's definitely something I'd be concerned about.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's thinking about it. I mean, what do you guys think? If it's just Skyrim legacy quality, I mean, that's a 5-year-old game, right? I mean, I wonder if it might be like able to play legacy quality Skyrim at reason. That's pretty old compared to Special Edition.
Well, I think it just comes down to what your desire is. I mean, for somebody like Sherry, who's playing Skyrim every day all the time and is not going to give it up, I don't think the hit will be as big because you just have an overwhelming desire to play. Now, I think where it comes down to is the mid players who'd like to pick it up every once in a while on the go, but have sit in front of their consoles or their PCs for a little bit of time, and then take it on the go on, say, a vacation or a trip then, and then try and play it. I think, you're going to lose a little bit off of that. And, maybe that if that's all you're going to do is take it every once in a while on the go, maybe the system may not be for you. But, it's too much speculation, and that people are either, over the hill, excited about it, or ready to jump off a cliff saying it's going to be the evilest thing, to hit the shelves, ever. So, it's, a couple weeks, this is being recorded, in the past. So hopefully in the future we're getting better information and can, see what it's really going to do. I want Nintendo to succeed. They haven't had a real big definitely a successful console in a while. And even their games which have been normally strong, have been, suffering a little bit. They're not as good a quality and not as well put together as they have been in the past. That, as somebody that grew up on Nintendo, I would love to see them succeed.
The last one I feel strongly about was GameCube. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I think
I had the only one I owned after that was Wii, and Wii was fine, but I felt it sacrificed sort of good games for having the sort of gimmick of the new weird control system. You know what I mean?
Well, the ones for the Wii that were the sweet spot were like the sports games. Like, for me personally, other people like golf or whatever, but I like the bowling and the tennis.
Bowling was fun, but you know how lame that is, Pat? That feels like we're playing Atari again or something. Like some kids back in the 70s being like, "Oh,
yeah." Well, it was fun for a while, but it had no staying power for me. So yeah, I agree with you. Right? I mean, I played it, I don't know, whatever, the first 6 months, year, or whatever, and then I don't even own that system anymore. I hardly picked it up after that. And I never bought a Wii U. So.
No, I did not own a Wii U either. I don't know anyone who does. I don't know how successful that console was. It was.
I do. Actually, it's my wife's.
Do you enjoy the that cool? I always wanted to check it out and hold the cool like video screen gamepad thing. I think that looks neat, but I've never actually touched one.
No, neither have I. I've just sat there and watched her use it. I mean, the problem is that there was sports games for me. There was the early Maddens, I could play and what have you. But now they're into you're managing the whole team and building the freaking stadium and all this. And at some point there's a break from where what you grew up with and what you're used to the point where it's just evolved past you. And that's kind of where Mario is for me. The minute he was spinning around like a raccoon and doing all kinds of that stuff, I'm like, all right, I think I'm done with this now.
Seriously, the raccoon? That was 3, Dennis. That was like 30 years ago.
Yeah, well, that shows you how big a drop off there was for me.
That's hilarious. But 2 you were okay with, the fucking Radish and the Alligator King guy and the princess floating around. You're okay with that stuff?
Actually, my sweet spot was the 2 brothers going scrolling side by side and going through the tunnels and what have you.
Yeah, the actual Mario, not even Super Mario. It was just the Mario brothers, right?
No, I was good at Super Mario. I always do that. You get the negative worlds and all that other ridiculousness, but yeah.
For the original NES game. Yeah. That was killer. Such a good game. My wife and I would play that on Wii a lot. We wouldn't even play Wii games. We would play a lot of old of the 8-bit Nintendo games. Actually, that's what we did usually on our Wii.
I think that's one of those things that makes the let's players. I mean, people of kind of my generation, you sat down and you their games weren't always 2-player where one person got a turn or what have you. So you had to kind of sit and you had to either battle it out or legitimately share. And you spent a lot of time watching other people play the game, and that's kind of the way you learned it. So I think that's why Let's Plays now are so popular, is because the whole new generation is coming up with hey, this is kind of cool to watch how somebody else, manipulates and does stuff. I mean, I know that the way Pat is playing New Vegas is completely and utterly different than the way that I would play. I mean, I would never be lobbing grenades and crippling myself at the rate that Arthur does. So, but I mean, it's a brilliant way. It's a brilliant thing to watch, and it's enjoyable to listen to because it expands your gaming.
Arthur crippled his head again. Oh no. Dumb anyway. So it worked.
Well, see, that's the best part about that playthrough is just the stuff you get from being an idiot, like the things that other characters say, the NPCs say to you, and the dialogue options. That's it's so fun.
Yeah, that's great. That's a very good point about our generation watching other people play video games, and now sort of Twitch providing that same sort of, watching people play video. There's still a culture for that. I remember, I don't know that I've ever actually played the game Bionic Commando, but I've definitely seen it played through many times by my friends and stuff. You know what I mean? That's just something we did. Or I think I've mentioned it recently, Final Fantasy 3. I've definitely, watched that played through. I don't know if I ever touched the controller though. But I didn't mind. It was fun to hang out with friends at like the sleepover party and play Final Fantasy for 12 hours. And you couldn't turn the fucking thing off. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
The game, you can't turn the thing off, so you have to play it they forced you to play the damn game for 18 hours straight or whatever. Jerks.
Well, I'm sure that was never their intention. I'm sure they thought we would all be good enough to back up and put it down, be mature about it.
Yeah, of course. Or leave it paused all night long and just hope that it didn't get turned off somehow. If your mom turned off your game overnight. Oh,
Mom!
Nah.
Yeah, so I have like a completely different sort of clique of my Facebook friends who are like, and actually it's a group that's probably on average like even older than I am, so they're just ancient as shit. But one of them has actually posted on Facebook. He said, and he genuinely was surprised at this. Did you guys know that there's a service where you can watch people play video games? And it's just kind of like there's a kind of a significant
multiple platforms now for that, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's but maybe Twitch most notably, but yeah, YouTube or whatever else. And I said, I like it. It's how I've survived 2016.
You're like,
meanwhile, Pat's banked 6,000 episodes of his Let's Play, and he's like, "Oh, those are horrible. Well, we gotta read a book or something. Do something good with your time."
I tell you, it's funny. Like the Twitch streamers I like to watch who do a lot of Fallout, but both of them are, one of them's in school and the other one, I guess they're both in school. One of them is actively trying to make like a career for himself and being a Twitch streamer. He's not partnered yet, but it's possible he could do it.
He deserves to be. If it was it the guy that did the no hit in.
Yeah. No, actually the no hit guy. He's a New Zealand guy who's in school, and then the other guy, Weirdest Builds is so T_Ronix, T_Ronix, RONIX is the no hit guy, and then the other guy, Weirdest Builds, he's done like no kill runs and no Pip Boy runs, and he actually did an amazing New Vegas run that was he called it Grandma Reddit. It was pre-Twitch. It was on YouTube. And it was a character with one strength who maintained over 800 rads at all times and used only explosives.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was that was a wild New Vegas playthrough. That was actually sort of what got me, because I was watching that in the middle of when I was playing Fallout 4, and that's actually kind of what got me really jazzed about running through New Vegas again, because I had such a good time watching that build.
Nice.
So check out the Weirdest Builds on Twitch and or YouTube. But very creative Fallout and Skyrim. But he does other stuff, but probably 85 or 90% of what he does is Bethesda games of some ilk.
Nice.
He's a lot of fun.
Does Fudge Muppet? I know we use them for the Fallout stuff. Do they do Skyrim builds too?
Yes, they do. They have a bunch of them out there.
I'm sure they did. I just had never.
Yeah. Yeah, they go. I know they go back to Oblivion. I don't know that they go to Morrowind, but I know that they've done stuff for Oblivion as well.
Holy crap! I thought those guys were young. I guess not.
Oh, they are, but
they are. Yeah.
Yeah, they are, but they just go back and play the games. I mean, they were playing them. Like they were playing them when they were like 10.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I'm a dummy. You have to keep that in mind, Dennis. All right. So Dennis, we had a nice project that we were working on to raise a few extra dollars for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation that you kindly put together for us, about naming a band for the Bard College that my character Curing Tinkerkeeps was using for a Let's Play that we did over on Let's Play Skyrim that you can find over at asapodcasting.com. So actually we raised a total of $275 I believe. And again, Dennis, thank you so much. We appreciate that. But we had a total of 16 band names entered. And last episode, I believe, or was it 2 episodes ago, Pat? I think it was just last episode.
Last episode, yeah.
Dwindled it down to 4 finalists. And what we're going to do, Pat, maybe you can talk us through this.
So I think you finished your Bard's Let's Play, Bard's College Let's Play, maybe probably as people are listening to this, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 weeks or so ago. And so on the first episode that we recorded in real time, after you posted it, we did maybe it's the second. I think it was the second episode. We did the selection of the 4. And so go back, and if you missed that episode and you want to hear all 16, go back and hear those. And then we posted, as of last week's episode, we posted the 4 on the Facebook page for the Facebook poll. So you've had, as of listening here, you got 1 week to vote. I guess it's Facebook, so you can change your mind if you want to. If you want to be lobbied by people who think that certain names are better,
you can change your Facebook polls. Gee.
I think so. I think you can. I think you can change them. And then as people listen to this, if you listen to this on the day it drops, then you'll have about a week later. So you definitely check out the Facebook page if you haven't voted yet. If you want to see what those are, I think we probably, Dennis, it would make sense to go ahead and repeat those for people just in case they haven't voted. They can go cast their vote for their favorite one. I don't have them right in front of me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't either.
Oh, we're such losers.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you have them?
I've got the entire list of 16, but
I think we can go for the 4.
I won't punish you guys through there. So, punish. Sorry, like I'm insulting the people who sent in band names. I apologize. As a joy, all the band names. Thank you, everyone, again for your submissions. Again, there was a total of 16, and we whittled her down to 4. And drum roll, please. Finalists. Dovabahn. That's D-O-V-A-H. Bahn, B-A-H-N. This kind of has a sort of like German techno band sound to it, maybe. The next finalist is Play for Keeps. Rimshot, please. Play for Keeps. Curing Tinker Keeps being the lead bard there. The next finalist here is Double Delta and the 508s. And our last finalist is Two Dog Night, which is Knight, K-N-I-G-H-T. And that's funny because I always have Barbas and Vigilance with me.
Yeah, that one was pretty darn. It wasn't my pick, but it was pretty darn clever.
Very, very nice. And I think Double Delta and the 508s. Does anyone get that reference?
I think you explained it last week, and I've forgotten because I have no mind anymore.
It's the
you said you weren't going to explain it because you said it would give away who's the person that
who submitted it.
Yes.
I'll have to announce it after.
All right.
The winner. Okay, that's fine. But it's a good one. Just everyone know that Double Delta and the 508s kind of sounds like one of those 1950s roll up in your convertible sock hop bands. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely waiting for the cliffhanger of what the explanation is because I've been holding on for like 2 weeks now.
Or it'll be like a time you hear this. So.
Nobody will care by then.
Yeah, it'll be way old news by that time. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to post these tonight on Facebook, but so actually the poll will be up 2 weeks in real time. This episode will drop right in the middle of those 2 weeks. So after this episode drops, you have 1 week to submit your vote on the poll, and we'll keep bumping it to the top of the Facebook page as much as we can, or maybe we'll pin it there for 2 weeks or something. But what do we have until February? What do we say? February 2nd.
February 2nd, Groundhog Day.
February 2nd was the final day that we'll be taking votes on these last 4. And I forget what are we doing for the winner, Dennis? Don't you have a few more details here?
Yeah, so we've submitted the money for everyone that turned in a submission, but we're also going to do a $50 donation to CFF in the winner's name, and they're also going to get a very special Skyrim prize that is held under wraps until we have a legit winner.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you, Dennis. Terrific stuff.
I'm really intrigued as to what this special Skyrim prize is going to be.
I am too. Some lives may be lost in the process of it. So
it's a sweet roll.
Yeah.
It's just a pastry. No one needs to die.
Well, again, I'm working with artists, so artists and me don't always get along. You gotta whip the talent into shape.
Temperamental artist. Nice.
And no, it's not Andrew, in case anybody's making that error.
Of course it's me. What are you talking about? I'm the devious diva in Divaville over here. So I think that is actually a good place to stop for this evening on episode 65. We actually have an email from Michelle that we need to get into, a journal entry from one of his new characters. We also have some audio feedback from Frank that we need to get into, but we're already nearing 40 minutes or so. So I figured that we get into that sort of stuff, and that's going to just carry us hours into the evening. So let's go ahead and take a wrap on the show for this evening, and we can get back to you guys next episode where we will catch up and discuss more good Fallout stuff, get some emails and some good audio feedback from everyone. So Dennis, thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Andrew. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Pat, thank you.
Hey, thanks. And a quick shout out to our co-host, Kara, who is
Kara,
under the weather tonight and unable to join. So, Kara, I hope you are feeling better.
She said she got punched in the face. I think figuratively.
I think it was figurative. I don't think it was literal. Hope she's feeling better by now.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, Kara, shout out. Hopefully you feel better. We'll see ya.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Skyrimatic Podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
All right, I got that saved.
All right.
I know you said you didn't want to do 2 episodes, Pat, but I figured 2 shorties would be.
Yeah,
okay.
That's okay. I probably got a second win. So, what was shit? I was. What were we talking? I am so freaking brain dead, man. It's probably a sign I'm tired. I think tireder than I think I am.
Well, you can.
No. I just to think of something. I was going to mention in between shows. Shit, what were we talking about? I'll think of it in the middle. I'll think of it in the middle of the show again.
Of course it will.
Oh, I know what it was. I was because I forgot and I posted a Let's Play this morning. But I guess actually, if we're going to do 2, it'll be Friday. It'll actually be Friday before you post this anyway, so that's probably okay. Because the whole don't post 2 in one day thing.
Whatever. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter for me. I have my podcatcher set just to download every new episode, but not.
Yeah.
They don't all default
Mine
that way.
does too, and it checks for new episodes like every 2 hours.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But I think people who aren't as obsessive about podcasts may miss one. But what the hell? They'll get onto it quickly if they miss it.
Okay, so all right, I got that ready to go. Oh wait, I need to get the other theme song.
Now the other problem though is we're not even going to have posted the poll winners, much less know who. This is going to mess up our sequencing, but that's probably okay.
Well, okay.
I don't care. I'm okay with that. I just
Pat, we need a producer.
Yeah, I know. It's we need to like put Gary in the put him in the
Fuck you, Gary.
and rehab to dry out and turn him into a real producer.
Right on. All right, so rolling.
Rolling.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waste. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waste.
Welcome, everyone. Episode 66 of the Fallout Feed. Welcome back. Hello, Dennis. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Andrew. How you doing?
Very nice, sir. And Pat, hi.
Hey, how we doing? Only 600 more episodes till we hit the number of the beast.
Oh, man, that's amazing. What are we going to do?
I don't know. We have to start planning now.
Yeah, we gotta, I don't know. We're going to have a moon bounce. And
if we count the Let's Plays, we might hit next year. Who knows?
we're going to have a death claw pop out of a cake. We're going to have let's see.
Or you could do a pin the tail on the death claw. That's your other option.
Yeah, there you go. On the rad stag, pin the tail.
Pin the rads. There you
go. Old Longfellow is giving me the old creepy one eye from the corner.
Old Long Nuts.
Old Captain Long Nuts over there. Welcome to the show, everyone. Glad to have you back. We're still doing the band name contest. The poll has closed this evening, I believe. So if you want to get any last-minute votes in, rush off and put those in right now, and we will announce our winners of the Skyrim Let's Play Bards band name this band contest that Dennis so nicely put together for us. So throw in your last votes tonight, and we'll wrap it up probably tomorrow. February 3rd or 4th here. So we'll do the announcement and online, but we'll also report back to you on the podcast on the next episode. So thanks everyone for submitting band names again. It's been a great success and a fun little project. And yeah. No, I always love little projects like this. It's one of the great things about our Facebook community, which can be found on facebook.com/groups/a Skyrim Addict podcast. So join us.
You can hit us up on Twitter at the Fallout Feed.
At the Fallout Feed, of course. We also have Twitch, I believe, is also.
I was listening to a Skyrim Addict back catalog, and Michael was talking about the launch of the Twitch channel. We haven't been twitching enough as a group.
No,
we need to get out there on the Twitch some more.
We need to start twitching. Dennis, do you have our ASA podcasting Twitch info? I need to get that to you so you can Twitch some. I want to watch you play. What's the last time you played Fallout, Dennis? How recently have you played Fallout?
Fallout 4?
Any game. Any Fallout game.
Well, I played Fallout 1 for about a half an hour before the show.
Where?
Nice.
How's that?
Nice.
Well, I've been having massive problems. I'm supposed to be doing a Let's Play for Fallout 3, and I'm having massive problems getting... Well, I had it working, and it was supposed to be... Fallout 3 doesn't play well with the old Windows Live, so you had to download a old file from that to get it to work. Because supposedly it doesn't work, but if you download the file, it does. So I had to end up I had everything working. I had a good mod list going. I had a good stable game going, but then I had to do some things to my computer, and I had to do a reinstall of Fallout 3. And when I reinstalled Fallout 3, I cannot get it to work again, even with the file that I had before. And I've gone through and done all kinds of fixes. I've gone in through with admin rights on different parts of the program. I've changed the ini files. I've done 6,000 different fixes, and I simply can't get it to run.
Sucks.
So I was curious. You guys suggested maybe the older 1 or 2, but I didn't know that would work because it's not Windows. It's still Windows 10, and I didn't know if those games would be compatible with it. But I said, all right, screw it, I'll give it a shot. And when you go to the Steam page, it just says requires Windows. It doesn't name Windows 7 or whatever. So I downloaded it, and it works. It is really rough looking though.
Yeah, I booted those up years and years ago, and that was before I was as obsessed with the Bethesda oeuvre. So I gave it up. Now I feel like, now I might actually, because I'm so interested in no more, I might actually be able to tough it out and get through those.
No, it's. I mean, from the beginning sequence of one, it is. It's definitely one of those. Hey, I know what. Hey, that's where that comes from, and I know what that is, and there's definitely a lot of images that older players of 4 and New Vegas and 3 would definitely get a kick out of. But as far as the actual gameplay of it, it's really kind of rough because I'm used to turn-based RPGs because I the gold box, Baldur's Gate kind of games, I really love. But one of those things that those games had that Fallout, 1 at least doesn't have is, at least in the beginning, you're one person. And most of those other games are kind of party games. So you're moving around different kind of pieces of the puzzle. You got a thief over here and a wizard over here. Whereas Fallout, you just have the one character. And that makes for some really, really rough gameplay.
I like it having a wizard over there, though, Dennis. What, don't you like having a wizard over there?
Yeah. No, I mean, you have to have all the parts of you got to have your tank and your wizard, and
I never played a ton of those games. I remember watching, again, we were talking about watching people play games. I remember watching my brother play on our old Apple IIe. Had those like 5-inch floppy disks or whatever. A Bard's Tale, I believe it was called that, but it was like a word adventure game that you would type in commands and stuff, and it would be like, and you go 3 steps and a troll pops out, and that sort of stuff. It was really awesome. I love that sort of stuff. The
old Ultima games are really good for that.
That's the only time I've ever really seen anything like that. I was watching my brother play that. But so Fallout 1, it's okay. Tell me about it. Is it a top-down, sort of like off at a 45-degree angle? I've never even seen a screen cap of what Fallout 1 looks like. Tell me a little bit about it.
If you saw a screen cap of it, you'd see just a lot of really grainy, blurry images. Yes, and you come out of the vault that you come out of in 1 is Vault 13. And you get outside of the vault, and there's kind of like it's kind of like a maze where you're looking down into a maze, and you're fighting just a bunch of rats, and the rats are basically the little gray blobs on the screen. It's pretty hoopty.
No,
it's cool, but
that actually sounds kind of cool. I don't know why. I mean, I know you're kind of like laughing at it, but I think that sounds kind of interesting to go back and see where. I just want to see where the game that I really love kind of evolved from, like Pat said, initially I might not have been so interested in that sort of game, but now that I've seen where it's gotten to, I might be very interested to see where it came from. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. No, it's just, the thing about it was before I started up 1, I started up 4, and because I just wanted to see, I've got a new system now, and I was doing so much work with 3 that I never even opened 4. But I was just looking for something to do before the show, so I opened up 4 to see what kind of settings I could get my machine to run at. And I'm running 4 on Ultra, and I had been basically playing it on the Xbox One and the PS4, and on PC Ultra, just the amazing difference between that and the consoles is pretty amazing. I mean, Codsworth is like shining. You can like feel the gleam off of the metal on PC Ultra. And then of course I'm like, if I start playing this, I'm just going to start playing it, and that's going to be the end of that. So I turned it off. I'm like, well, let me just see, what 1 kind of looks like, and if it'll run and what have you. And I open it up, and just the beginning sequence, it's just like, ooh, that's kind of bad. I mean, you love it, you enjoy it, it's like being a fan of whatever, disco music or whatever ridiculous thing where you're like, it's fun. it's fun, but you're kind of ashamed that you would, kind of like it. You may not go out and advertise it to all your friends.
Hey, I will gladly say I love disco and Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks, the jumpsuit, doing disco moves is my idea of a really good time. Come on over.
And with that, we end the show.
Mic drop.
How about you, Pat? When was the last time you played Fallout?
I played Fallout 3 this weekend.
Was this the first time you ever loaded it, or you played Fallout 3 before?
Oh no, I was all over 3. That was my first one.
I thought so. Vegas was your first.
So I knowing that people like Dennis had a lot of trouble with Fallout 3. I've got Fallout 3 is sitting on my laptop, but I've never clicked on it because I've heard so many horror stories. But I was kind of jonesing to go back and play it, so I installed it in my Xbox One. And I actually that was the first backward compatible game I had stuck in there. And it's weird because it boots up like an Xbox 360 emulator, so you actually get the old Xbox 360 graphics. But then it ran just fine. The load screen seemed slower than Fallout 4, but maybe a little faster than Fallout 3 was back in the 360 back in the day.
Crap, Kara just came on. Kara, what's up?
Kara!
Did you get punched in the face?
A little bit. I took cold medicine yesterday and today, and I thought I was fine. And I was fine for most of the day. But it was a busy day, and then I came home, and after a while, I just passed out like an old lady in my chair.
Well, good job. I hope you got a cat in your lap.
Yeah, open mouth snoring and everything. Like, it was
nice. I hope we get a NyQuil loopy carrot tonight.
Of course you because I can't embarrass myself enough already. So I'm sorry for joining so late.
Oh no, you're fine. Welcome.
No, glad you made it.
Hey, sorry, Pat. What were you saying there?
Just talking about Fallout 3, and it was So I played. So actually, Dennis and I were batting this back and forth on the Facebook page. I was we were talking about achievements before, and on the last show, and I was looking at my achievements, and I didn't 100% Fallout 3, but I was like maybe 8 achievements away or something, and I realized that like 5 of those achievements were because you get an achievement for like level, I want to say it's like 8, 14, and 30 for good, neutral, and evil character, and I had all the good, and I had like the 8 for evil, so I had like 4 achievements that were just like getting to a level with basically an evil or a neutral character. So I started doing. I started playing a character. What the hell? I'll just get this character. And then it's like maybe like you said, I might try to do neutral and evil both with the same character. Or if I'm having enough fun, I might just do 2 characters and try to get up to level 30. It's easy to be good or evil because you just kind of do the extremes. I mean, it's a little trickier to be neutral. You kind of have to go back and forth, and either you can kind of the way those games are. There's an explicit New Vegas and 3 both have an explicit karma mechanic of some sort where you get good, neutral, or evil karma, and it's pretty much what you expect. By doing generous things and helping people, you get good. If you steal a lot or kill innocent people or whatever, then you get evil. You get bad karma, and then if you kind of do neither of the above, you get neutral. So it's exactly what you'd expect, and it's especially in New Vegas, it's really well integrated into the game. So it's not just for the sake of getting that. It actually affects things, and it makes a lot of sense. It's not just a needle that moves kind of randomly. It actually affects your interactions with factions and stuff. So New Vegas, that mechanic I think is really well implemented.
Yeah, it is far superior in New Vegas.
Yeah. So anyway, so I did that for a couple hours this past weekend. Had a good time with it.
New Vegas is ugly though.
Yeah, it is. And Fallout 3, I'd forgotten just how green it is.
It does have a bad green tint to it.
Yeah, I mean it's intentional. I mean, it's clearly an intentional design choice to feel kind of sickly. And I'm sure that all the modders in the community are yelling at their podcatchers now that no, use mods, you fix it with mods, which obviously you could on the PC.
There's two big ones that I was playing with before my game up and died on me. One was Fallout, and the other one was I'm gonna forget it now. Oh, there's two big ones that do a lot for changing it. One is kind of more in line with the Bethesda vision, where it's green, but it's not just so overwhelmingly green. It's kind of like it's more of a haze, and it's not so intrusive. And the other one is just completely cleans it up and tightens it up and makes it look more like 4, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Man, I really wish I had the sound drop to that song "Tighten Up." Drop. I wish I was a professional sound guy.
Wait, the one by Archie Bell and the Drills? That one?
Yeah, that old one from the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Hey guys, did you see the new Fallout announcement? Obsidian's totally announcing a new Fallout game. Everybody freaked the fuck out.
And Shalene said, "Calm down. They make other games too."
Yeah. So I don't know why anyone would think this had anything to do with Fallout. Did you see it's like either a hobbit pipe or an axe crossing with like a stalk of wheat. And the quote, "I used to dream that when my God came back, he would forgive us. That's the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up." No, why would you even pretend to believe that has anything to do with Fallout?
Everlasting hope.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then today, the Obsidian website, the image has changed to like an open book with a really intricate skeleton key popping out of it, and it says, "You know better than anyone that nothing is more dangerous than a god's secrets. Perhaps the leaden key was right to keep this one buried." This is not a fucking Fallout game, guys.
But sounds cool anyway.
Yeah, I really want to play it whenever that they've got me sold.
Yeah.
I shouldn't add yet another game to my list. I really shouldn't.
Oh, speaking of new games, Kara, what's up? Skyrim, hello.
I don't know. I think maybe it was the cold medicine is the reason why I reacted that way.
It's all the cosmos.
Okay, so if you're not on the Facebook group, you probably haven't heard this, but today I finished work early. I decided to treat myself because I was feeling so well. I got my hair done. I came back. I was like, I think I'll finally open up Skyrim. And of course, I'm like, ha ha ha! I'm making myself a cat lady in person. Ha ha! I'm so funny. I'm running around on kitty paws and looting dead bodies. This is awesome. And then I get to Whiterun, and I'm still just derping around, doing my thing. And I turn around, and I see a ghostly figure. And I'm still derpy, and I think at this point I've started to get loopy, and I was like, oh, it's a ghost. Yay, ghost! I'm going to go run see what the ghost says or does or whatever. So I start running towards it, but my little kitty feet can't keep up with it for some reason, even though I'm going in the straightest line I possibly can, and he's curving around on the set path. And then I realized he's on a horse, too. And I was like, ghost horse and ghost man. Yay, a twofer. Except I can't freaking catch up to him, which is all fine and dandy until he hits, like, turbo speed, turbo boost. Like, he hit that big red button in the cars for, like, Need for Speed and stuff. And I said in the post, and I still hold true to this, that he moved like he was an extra in a Benny Hill chase scene. He went freaking nuts. And then before I knew it, boom, blast off. He was suddenly in the sky. Like that whole meme of, I must go, my people need me. And he just drifted away and away and away. And then suddenly he became a tiny little star in the distance. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
There's 370 Skyrim players in this group going, I played this game for 1,500 fucking hours and I never seen that.
And this motherfucking noob comes in. She doesn't even appreciate it.
It's amazing that you say this character. It had to be nighttime, correct?
I think so.
Yes.
I know it was nighttime, but
This is the legend. No, this is the Skyrim Special Edition that just came out, correct?
yeah.
Okay. Funny that you mentioned it. I think they may have written so that this occurrence happens more frequently or something into the script, because also I'd never had this interaction before ever. And I've been playing the game for at least 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Or, fairly often, and I never ever have run into that guy. And just like you, on my first night wandering past Whiterun, I also ran into the Headless Horseman guy on the horse. He did not do his zip zoom straight to the moon move. I did follow him to the end. Everyone always has trouble following him, but I just trotted right behind him. I didn't have any trouble keeping up or anything, and I followed him right to, I believe, the location. This could possibly be the incorrect location name, but the location he took me to, there's an exterior. It was like a sort of a Nordic ruin, but the exterior had like some gravestones setting up and sort of like a nice stone archway in the back, and a sort of maybe not really an amphitheater, but sort of like a nice stone structure and stuff. But there were grave sites and stuff, and he like went to that graveyard, like that is maybe where his body is, or something weird like that. And I
heard some gravesides out by the highway, a place that nobody knows.
Place where nobody knows. I believe the location was called Dead Man's Respite, but that could be a different location in the game. But I think that's what it was called.
Yeah, from some of the
he did not fly off though, but that's awesome. I've never heard anyone talk about that before. That's incredible.
Okay, so if that had happened to me, what happened to you? I'd have been like, that was neat. But whatever glitch or added code, and between that and my current state, it totally took me out of the game.
So you're playing unmodded, right? You're not playing any mods?
Total vanilla.
Here's the only person on PC who refuses to mod anything.
I appreciate all the hard work they put into their stuff. Plus, I'm lazy.
Well, see, that's for me. I have done very, very minimal modding, just because it's just a step. I mean, I completely get why lots and lots of people love it, but for me, it's just like a step. I don't want to take time to do that. I just want to just jump in and play and not worry about fine tuning so much. If I do a mod, it's usually because like, hey, I really want to be able to like cheat and shortcut a character to like level 20 or something, so I can do something I want to play around with. That I'll do, because the cheater mods are like really, they're brainless. They're really simple, and they almost always work because they're so simple.
Yeah, I've been thinking that would be helpful for me to like level up a new character real fast, and then take on one of the Fallout 4 DLCs and do the Let's Play of that. Rather than putting the time and effort.
That's what I did for my quote unquote raider playthrough of Nuka World. I leveled up a character to like level 30 or something, or maybe even 40, just to because Nuka World's pretty tough. I mean, what is it, Andrew? Is it 30 they recommend for Nuka World?
That's what they recommend, but you can go in whenever, I think.
Oh yeah, you can.
It
won't stop you.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Well, they also recommended a minimum level for Far Harbor, but I snuck all the way over to the Nakano residence and got there at like level 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that Twitch streamer T-Ronix I was talking about last episode, he did a Far Harbor playthrough where he got to Far Harbor at level 1, and his rule for his challenge was he was not going to do anything that he didn't pick up at Far Harbor. So like he got to level 1 at Far Harbor with nothing, no anything. no inventory whatsoever, and
Good lord.
and then finish the game with only stuff that finish Far Harbor with only stuff you picked up on the island.
That's fun. Sort of. I don't fun question mark.
No, I mean, he's fun to watch just because he does that kind of outlandish stuff like that. It's just crazy,
cool
Yeah.
And the last time I played Fallout was actually earlier today. Pat, I need you to explain to me how the fuck you save a game in survival mode. I loaded up a my old Daddy McDead face. Survival mode.
You're supposed to delete that, you cheater.
Yeah, I'm supposed to. I should have twitched it. I'm supposed to twitch it, but he actually died today, which was sort of disappointing. But he was my survival mode character that forever ago we were doing like survival mode challenges and
Dead is dead. Yeah.
his dead stuff. But I loaded him up and took him out today, and I was just like, first of all, the survival mode just breathes a new crazy life into the game because I was so tense. It was not a relaxing experience to just sit and play video games like I usually get out of playing. It was like even just passing the first fucking blood bug on the
well, even the rad roaches in the vault.
Yeah.
You can die to those if you're not careful. You get mobbed by those things, or you get zapped by the electricity in that one room.
Yeah.
I ran more from bloat flies in survival mode than I did run from death claws. Because bloat flies are fast and they spit and they've got range and you can never get away from them. And I think I've died more to them in survival than death claws.
Yeah, well, that's for me in Skyrim. Wolves are my bloat flies. Because I was running around without a follower, and like you get your level 2 or 3 in Skyrim, you get jumped by 3 wolves. That can be fatal.
Yeah,
and bloat flies are the same way. Yeah.
So with my survival mode character, I had been down to Concord before, but that was just to fetch like a camera or something to get like I don't know what I'm trying to do. Maybe
Crystal. You're trying to build a settlement radio, probably.
Yeah, settlement radio. Sure.
Yeah, the beacon.
To recruit people, the recruitment beacon thing. But so I actually went back there and went into the Museum of Freedom, is that what it's called? And was walking around there and got up and talked to Preston and all the people and went and got the power armor and the minigun from the wrecked vertibird up there, and then went all the way back down and then popped back out and then like had like 2 different waves of raiders and they wiped me out really quickly. So I died. And I was like, oh, man, that sucks. Okay, fuck. Well, hopefully it'll just reload right here at the door. Well, and it took me all the way back to the beginning of my play session, which was like actually hours before. How the fuck am I supposed to actually save?
Gotta get to a bed, man.
Yeah.
Where do you sleep in
in Sanctuary. So in Sanctuary, there you can go inside the houses and make beds, or you can go into that survivalist bunker thing. Yeah, which has got a bed already made for you. And then in Concord,
I was going to ask there.
The first house you come to from Red Rocket has a bed in it.
I expected the Speakeasy to have a bed. I popped my head.
No, they're all fucked up in the Speakeasy.
I couldn't find.
It's got beds, but they're all broken.
You're right. There was a fucking bed crossed with another bed, 2 beds on each other, and I'm like, why the fuck can I not sleep on this bed?
Yeah, Concord. No, I think Dennis, do you remember the Concord sewers might have? I think the Concord sewers.
It has a bed as well. I think it has a mattress down there, but you'd probably get sick sleeping on the thing.
Yeah,
I believe that all the Minutemen were up in that room. I could have sworn, okay, God, these guys will have a mattress in their fucking room. At least they'll take turns sleeping, right? But no. They've been trapped in that room for how long, and they don't even have a fucking mattress in the room.
Mama Murphy's sitting on that fucking couch. Nobody can go to sleep.
I need to take a nap. I need to save my fucking survival mode.
She's too busy tweaking to let anybody use the couch. See, that's actually one thing I thought about in this. Is like, okay, you're living in a radiation-infested hellhole. You're going to be able to sleep standing up. You don't need a bed to sleep because you're going to catch any sleep you can anywhere you can. But you got to get to a bed, and it's in Concord it's pretty bad because you have to sleep outside the Museum of Freedom. So you got to go back through all those damn raiders.
Well,
actually, what I would do, I would go in, I'd save at that house, go kill the raiders outside, go back and sleep again, go kill like the first set of raiders in the museum and go sleep again.
Well, no, there's the house with the dead raider.
If you're the one I'm thinking about is
one of the residence homes on your way into town.
If you're going from the Red Rocket to Concord, it's the first house you meet on the right around the same intersection as the Blood Bugs.
Well, there's another house that has a safe in it that's to the left of the Museum of Freedom. That's a 2-story house that has a raider dead upstairs, and then there's a safe in that room too, I think.
Yeah, okay. I never used that one, but you need to find a bed or a mattress or a bed or a sleeping bag or whatever. I mean, there's other stuff. There's a sleeping bag out on the way to Drumlin Diner, it's off in the woods.
I saw. There's a little raider campsite. I found.
That works. Although I think the one I'm thinking about, is a real bed, so you can get proper I think as much sleep as you need.
I think it gives you crabs though.
Oh, anything in the wasteland can give you crabs if it's not a clean bed.
So, hey guys, we got some audio feedback actually from Frank that we need to get into. We also have a pretty lengthy email that Pat will want to read from Michelle. So we'll need to get into that stuff here real quick. So you guys want to go ahead and check in with Frank here real quick?
Yeah.
Frank has to say. Thanks for calling in, Frank. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, Wastelanders? My name is Frank. Been enjoying listening to the show for a little bit. It rocks. And I am calling in today because Andrew asked me to originally when I sent him an email, 2 months ago. And the holidays kind of got away from me. So I just caught up to the podcast today, and I heard I heard my email read, and I realized that there was an oversight in my explanation. You see, I had told him that my wife and I play together, and yes, we do pass the controller back and forth, specifically when we're settlement building. But we actually play the game in together in tandem using the Pip-Boy app. So primarily, I'm in control of combat and movement and navigating in the 3D space and looting things and, shooting people's heads off and whatnot. And she is in control of everything that the Pip-Boy app does. So I don't actually open it unless it's to level up. She controls the map, fast travels me, sets waypoints, heals me and feeds me during combat, gives me great mentats when we're going to go sell stuff, changes my outfit. So it's an interesting dynamic that we have, and we're actually playing together, even though it's a single player game through the app. So I just wanted to write in and clarify that because I thought it was interesting. So anyway, like I said, enjoying the show, and I will continue to listen. And see you in the wasteland.
Nice, thanks, Frank. That's great. Did you guys ever play around with the app?
A little bit, but not that. I should have played around with it more.
It's incredible for them to use it in that manner. I never would have thought to do so. I would when the app came out and I knew about it, I would load it up and have it open. But it was mainly just to look at the map, so I didn't have to pop back in and out. I never even thought about making Tori sit beside me, and it's like. Stem me. What do you say, Pat? What's your
stem up? Stem up, man.
Stem up, Tori. You know what I mean? That's incredible. So good on you, Frank, for incorporating like that. Do you ever switch? Does your wife ever get to use the controller and you get to use the app and stem her up? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more.
So yeah, that's I didn't know that. So it sounds like they're actually able to use the.
My name is Frank.
Sorry. Thanks, Frank.
It sounds like they're able to use the app while he's actually using the controller, which is that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. They don't get any type of lag. Be like, all right. Heal me. Like, oh, I did 2 minutes ago. It didn't take
as long
yet.
as they're on the same Wi-Fi network, it's pretty instantaneous.
Yeah, I played around with it a little bit. And I found on the one hand, it is neat having the map in a like being able to like kind of hold the map like sort of closer, and you can sort of zoom in and stuff. But I found the distraction of having to put down my controller and pick up my phone or iPad and fiddle around with it was not worth the hassle.
Yeah. I hear that.
I looked at it for the cheatsy doodles.
Like, what's sort of cheatsy doodles?
Yeah, where is this located? Where is that located? Kind of stuff.
And I just used one of the wikis for that.
No, I mean, yeah, Kara, what do you mean? Are you talking about an app that actually gave you locations of stuff before you discovered them? Because my app wouldn't pop them open on the app. Are you talking about a different app?
Maybe I am. I'm sorry. I am medicated right now.
You're fine.
Well, there's a couple of different like just map apps, where you can and websites and things.
Yeah, the wiki has its own little app thing that you can pop open. It has all the stuff with the bobbleheads and whatnot.
I always hate. I'm not. When you first start getting into the game and before you're really super familiar with like, oh, that's the bend in the river there. Like when you look at close-up locations of the map, the wiki would be like, here's the location, and it would point to something. I'm like, I have zero reference to where that actually is. I don't know where that is yet, guys. Could you zoom out a little bit, please? I mean, like, because it was like within a couple miles. Just like I haven't been to that part of the map yet, so. It's really confusing a lot.
Definitely in 3 it gets confusing because of the way that the DC areas laid on top of each other through the tunnel system.
Yeah.
So you can look at a wiki map and it'll say yes, the Jefferson Memorial is right here, and you only have to go through about 8 different tunnel systems to actually get to the place where it's at.
Sucks. I hate it when
whereas 4 is just it's a lot more flat and a lot more even.
Well, good on you, 4. So thanks again, Frank, for writing in and calling in, and that's awesome that you play games with your wife. I will see actually if I can get Tori to, get the iPad down here, load that thing. I didn't even think about that. That'll be fun. I'll see if I can force Tori to play with me. That'd be great.
Character generator.
Yeah.
That's Andrew getting yet another follower. He doesn't even want to take the responsibility of healing himself or feeding himself. Now he has to bring Tori into his damn game so he can be fed. And
that is a very good point.
Open. I'm going to open my mouth, honey. Just put the cookie right in.
Pat, did we have an email that we were going to get into from
Michelle? We did. Yeah, we have a note from Michelle. I think we read one from him a couple episodes ago, and what he actually shared is like a character journal that he keeps. So this, in a way, is those who listen to the original ASA Mothership podcast knows that Michael has over the years read a lot of emails from Dave, who plays the McBeta character. So. A little bit similar to that. So let me. It's a little bit long, but it's very cool. So it's he's got a little bit of an intro, and then he jumps into the diary entry. So this is from Michelle, who Mikhail on the Facebook page, a good friend of the show, always writes in with really interesting stuff, good stuff on the Facebook page. So he writes in, "Hi. When I play a game extensively, my character always keeps notes of his/her adventures and misadventures in a journal. When I stopped playing her, Jennifer's journal had over 200 pages, 8.5 by 11. And God. Jennifer, you remember, was the character which I think he maxed her out.
Wow.
In Fallout, which is like level 270 something.
Real quick, I hate to interrupt. I'm just Michelle, when you get up to level 280, 270, 250, whatever you're at, when you max out a character, does the world continue to level up with your character? And are the death claws just called like legendary albino, mother of Lord, death claw, albino again, legendary, smart guy, death claw squared? Like are the names just like forever long, and are the characters? And do you if you've leveled everything up, you must have the perk that lets you see what does it do, guys? Like it lets
awareness. It lets you see hit points and resistances.
Everything that it lets you see the basically the stats of your enemies. So
it's not like a special, but it's like it's hit points and the 3 energy, radiation, and damage resistance.
But if you can see their hit points, like I'm wondering, do those death claws just continue? If you're at level 276, do you see death claws at are level like 400 or whatever? You know, like are the enemies still hard? Is basically what I'm asking. Or are you just melting through everything at this point?
So I have a character that's 100 plus, so only like half the level, and I took awareness with him and it's actually kind of fun. And I don't know that I've seen. Now there are sometimes you'll run into human characters that will be exactly your level, and that's clearly how the mechanic is working. So wherever you are, I've like that. Shit, what's that named raider that you could run into, and he says like, "Oh no, not again," or something when you kill him. He has like a funny death line. He's got like a one-word name that like it's like a name like it's not Caesar, but it's like a name like Caesar. It's like a well-known. I forget the guy. Anyway, you run into him at one point, and like he will I think be your level. And there's other places where you will run into somebody who is exactly your level. But I don't think like necessarily like the death claws or behemoths will necessarily keep up, because my level 100 plus character like has no problem with any one thing in the game. Now he can still get mobbed by multiple stuff, but like he'll like one shot a behemoth or a death claw just because it's just not that hard when you're that level, all tricked up with all the blitz and some freaking ridiculous legendary whatever sledgehammer or something, or let's see, what am I using with him? Oh, I think I might still be using Pikmin's blade. I'm using that throat slicer thing. That's what it is. That OP throat slicer knife from Nuka World. That thing with Big League and Blitz is just ridiculous.
Do you run into that later? I don't think
I think you buy it. I think you buy it from one of the vendors in the market.
My ear to the ground for a throat slicer.
That's the name of it. It's a unique, and it's actually not the most OP thing. The most singular OP thing is the baseball bat that you can attach a rocket to.
Oh, good lord!
And that does like 340 or something, and the throat slicer does like 270, but it's got like crit chance or something. But throat slicer stacking with big leagues and blitz is just ridiculous.
Well, my character in Fallout Shelter is now high enough where the raiders I run into when I go out on missions now have super sledges with rocket powered and all that.
Nice.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, so my bet is that Jennifer does. Well, actually, the way Michelle plays, Jennifer may not get into a lot of fights because he's a very, very role playing kind of guy. So I don't know if she's the fighter or not.
Sorry, I interrupted. You have a super long email.
So Willie is Michelle's new character that he started in Fallout New Vegas. Again, posted some really nice adventures and clips from some of the stuff Willie's been doing in New Vegas with some interesting mods. So this is actually a couple weeks old. We got this a while back. As an example, here's his last entry as they, which is Cass, Veronica, and Willie, left their house in Good Springs to go explore the free side and try to get into the strip. So Michelle writes level 19, 52 hours and 52 minutes in. That's a very leisurely playthrough because my Arthur's like level 19 or something, but only like with like maybe 15 hours of gameplay or something like that. Here's the journal entry. We had a nice day off yesterday. Everybody should be in good shape. I know I feel ready for some action. I've decided it's time to go and explore the free side of New Vegas. Maybe we'll be able to talk to that Henry Jameson and get him to quit his position at the Crimson Caravan Company. I wonder if Alice McLafferty and Gloria Van Graff have heard of our talks with the NCR, though. We'll see. We left early, leaving Boone and Eddie at the house. We went to Sloan first, and then walking very slowly to avoid any death claws out there, we got to Neil's shack. We were stopped by Neil, a super mutant, who told us about a certain Tabitha controlling the Black Mountain. He said it would be possible to defeat her with some help. We may go and help him at some point, although I'd like to know more about that Tabitha and Neil. But not right now. We have other matters to deal with at the moment. We slept at his shack and continued our journey at dawn. We passed Junction 15 railway station, where we were attacked by an assassin legionnaire. We continued north, still crouching. We discovered Samson Rock crushing plant. We didn't stop to explore the place. Maybe later. At New Vegas Steel, we had to fight some fiends. It was 5 p.m. when we got to El Rey Motel. Not much there apart from a chem addict who attacked us. We kept on going north following the main road. It was getting late and we were tired, so we were quite happy to get to Freeside's north gate. Unfortunately, we could not find a place to get a room, so we had to sleep in an abandoned house, one of us staying on watch all the time. We got up early and took a light breakfast before continuing our search for a way to get into the Strip. We met Rotface, who gave lots of info on the Strip and the Wasteland at a very cheap price. At some point, I saw a door in the wall. As soon as we got in the new area, we were attacked by Van Graff's thugs. We had to kill many of them and Gloria in the Silver Rush before we were free to go on. Not sure if there are more of those thugs in the area. We then met old Ben, who gave us some advice about the Strip. He seemed to be a nice guy, but we'll never get to know him better. Just after he was spoken to us, he's tried to get into the Strip and was shot dead. I talked to the Securitron gatekeeper who checked my credit, and since I was okay, he wished us a pleasant time. We finally got into the Strip. As we entered, Victor, who's a robot, by the way, as an aside, is a robot in New Vegas. It plays a big role. Victor came to us and said that we were invited to go see Mr. House at the Lucky 38. That old Victor is always somewhere near. I wonder why. So we went to see that old Mr. House, but as we got to the elevator, I'm told that I can't take my companions with me, so I asked them to wait for me downstairs. I get up and meet the head honcho of New Vegas, or to be exact, an image of him on a big screen. I chat with him, and he gives me lots of info about him, the Strip, Benny. Just before I leave, he tells me that I should talk to a certain swank and show him the evidence that Benny has played it wrong. When I get out, Victor tells me that we now have access to the presidential suite. I go take a look. Very nice indeed. But I think I prefer our schoolhouse. I get down to the casino, tell Veronica and Cass to follow me, and we head up to the suite. We will relax and rest until tomorrow morning. I'm sure Veronica and Cass will be quite happy to sleep in those big and cozy beds tonight. I know they enjoyed the food and especially the drinks we had for supper. I've never heard them laugh so much. That's quite a nice way to end the day. And that's the end of that diary entry. So really super nice stuff. Michelle, really detailed, and certainly that all rings really true to me, having done some of that same kind of stuff somewhat recently in my New Vegas playthrough. So that's terrific.
Thank you, Michelle. Also, if you could, at some point, maybe in the Facebook group or something, post your mod list. I'd be interested in seeing it, because if I start up a New Vegas playthrough, I'd like to kind of know what good mods are out there for it.
I need some. I need to play. God, I just need to go play all the old games. I don't even know.
Absolutely.
I should not let me buy a Switch. You should be Andrew. Go play Fallout 1.
Well, see, since you can't order a Switch yet, just go out, buy a used copy of Fallout 3, stick in your Xbox One, and there you go.
The Fallout 3, I have it for my. I have New Vegas and 3 for my PS3, but the digital copy of Fallout 3 came with my Fallout bundle the Fallout 4 bundle that came out when I got my Xbox One. I have the digital copy of Fallout 3, so I could go ahead and play that on my.
Even better, you don't have to even switch a disc with the digital copy.
Yeah, it's all. So I could start on Fallout 3, but I kind of I know Dennis was kind of explaining that it's really kind of herky jerky and not looking so hot, but I kind of do want to see Fallout 1. How do you? I think Marcus was trying to. I think he got it working on his Mac. I wonder if. I don't know. If I play it on my Mac, I'll have to try to do some computing stuff that is just above my head. You know what I mean? Marcus is way smarter than me.
Well, maybe in certain areas you're way smarter than him when it comes to putting music together, so.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard his new record. Is it good?
No, I don't know. I'm trying to lift you up here. Damn it. Listen to me.
Marcus, I want to hear your new jams, buddy. I hear your new album is hot.
Don't challenge that dude. He's probably gonna post a new 10-track album by tomorrow night.
He's gonna do the RPM challenge. I challenge everyone, especially Marcus. Do the RPM challenge. So thank you again for the email, Michelle. We talked about Daddy McDeadface. We got into Frank's audio. Thanks again, Frank. We talked about that Obsidian announcement. Pat, you had mentioned just real quick before we close out the show, possibility of a shared character on PC, and I was puzzled as to how the hell that would work.
So this was I want to say maybe it was Sherry maybe it's somebody else. I think it was Sherry who had said that it might be fun to do a shared character, which we only were kind of kicking around in a short Facebook thread. I think the idea was to let somebody I think it'd have to be on PC. I don't think there's any way to share the save files on console. Somebody would start a character, play it for a certain number of levels or a particular quest or for 2 weeks or real time or whatever, and then just pass it over to somebody else. Let somebody else play it for a chunk of time, and then just pass it around and just sort of see, how the character evolved. It's like those things like a game of telephone, right, where you're kind of whispering in a ring and see how it winds up. And so I think the idea is really cool, but actually what I was saying is I don't know enough about the architecture of the PC game to know how you'd even do that. Like, do you have to? Is it like literally just one file you'd have to pass around, or is it like a whole like directory or whatever? And is there any kind of like checking it? Does the game do any sort of like error checking or something where it's not good? I have literally no idea how hard this would be technically, but the little project sounds fun of just like sort of sharing a character. And even if you have people just play it for like an afternoon or something, you could
have
oh, nice.
You could have an additional level of stress like Andrew had, and you could make it a survival character, and everyone passes the character around, and whoever kills the character is in a lot of trouble.
You'd be like the hot potato game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like Goose or something with the Fallout survival mode character. That's funny.
So it was somebody from, I think, on the Facebook page. Whether it's even somebody, I think we have people on the Facebook page who like don't even listen to all the podcasts. But if anybody's got any suggestions for that, Andrew, what I was thinking, what made me think about it is it would be something fun that the Fallout community could do, because this, with the Skyrim community's got the roundtable gig tied up for another 2-3 months. So if there's an interest in the Facebook and the Fallout community of the overall ASA group, it'd be that's something the Fallout Axis could do.
That sounds awesome.
So if anybody's got interest in that, I don't think it'd take a lot of organization. I think we just get a few people signed up. And, again, I have no idea technically how it would work. If Sherry or anybody else knows how to make it happen, let's make it happen.
Basically, you're saying, Marcus, get to work.
He's got dogs and children and a job. Okay? He's got his job playing Xbox all day. You can't distract him from that.
He's got plenty of time to listen to Fallout New Vegas Let's Plays. Let's be honest here.
He's on your ass if you don't drop one on time for him, Pat.
I try to satisfy.
I think Pat is starting to get trained onto his dog's potty schedule as well. That's great. So that's all I have for this evening. Kara, what do you have any Fallout experiences or just anything in general going on? We didn't hear from you in the first episode. Did you have any thoughts that you wanted to talk about?
I have very few coherent thoughts at this point.
Oh, that's the best time to talk to you then, right?
With that. I'm trying to set myself up with a new character to play the, I was going to call it Robotech.
Kara is being brought to you tonight by NyQuil.
The Robotech DLC. Oh, God, help me. And I like how none of you guys are helping me.
Oh, wait. Well, I was trying Automatron.
Automatron, thank you.
I'm just trying to count the ways that Jeremy's going to slice this episode together and just roast you alive.
3 commercials out of this thing, man.
Tonight is not a good night for Kara.
But I'm so glad you joined.
So I'm looking forward to that because I do want to go through that, and I'm probably going to be a pain in the ass. So people will probably quit watching very early on or listening because I want to read all of the emails, all of everything associated with Automatron in every plant and everywhere you go. But particularly that last one there.
That'd be awesome.
When you go to meet.
Are you starting a whole new character? Automatron has a base level of something, but it's not high. I
think it's like 15.
I think it's 15, yeah.
So will you start a new character and we'll hear everything up through 0 through 15, or will you start the LP, the Let's Play, from the beginning or as you're entering Automatron?
I think I might Twitch the leveling up to a certain point and then do the LP from there out. Because I'm not sure people care about me leveling up so much as... I'm not sure people care at all about this Let's Play for me.
Enjoying it, man. Don't underestimate it. I'm doing my Let's Play with a character that I've already leveled up to the like mid 50s, and they hadn't been to Nuka World yet. So I'm running through Nuka World with like a mid 50s level character. So it's, I don't think they necessarily need to hear the leveling up, but it's also I'm almost whatever. I'll listen to.
I know we've got listeners like you and me who like to just binge listen and have a voice in the background and so on and so forth. So maybe. I haven't decided yet, and right now is not a good time to make a decision.
No, but that's fun. I highly encourage you to go ahead and start recording those. That's awesome. I encourage.
Now's the best time to make a decision. Now's the best time to start. Do 15 episodes tonight. It's a good idea.
Why is the devil on my shoulder so loud tonight?
You record the first 5 episodes. Just get on it.
Just kidding. I wish that I had been recording when this whole headless horseman thing had happened, because I feel like no one believes me. And that's probably the NyQuil talking. But
no, I'd never heard of the him taking off into space. I'd never heard of that before.
It was so weird. Like it went from fantasy to like suddenly we're in a space odyssey, and I didn't know what to think. I still don't know what to think, because I was expecting something entirely different. I think something more mysterious, but that speed up at the end totally took all of the mystique out of it. It just looked
weird and glitchy and
yeah.
I was
wondering if
it
was.
I've never heard of that one in particular.
Yeah, I'm glad I shared it with the group, because it explained a lot more than I think I ever would have found out. I
hope Victor sees it and chimes in, because he hears about glitches. He reads a lot of stuff, so he hears a lot about those glitches and stuff. So
everything else was fine. The dragon was gorgeous. I loved the dragon. That was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like one part I was under its wing and I was like, this is so cool. I'm going to die any second. And it was
living on the edge.
Yeah, horrifically beautiful. And all of my time in Fallout and many other games taught me to loot all the dead bodies around me as soon as possible. And I was very disappointed in my weight carrying ability at this point. I'm like,
but in Skyrim, you do have to watch out. There are plenty of items that you shouldn't bother with. In Fallout 4, they trick you into, almost all the junk is useful in some way. But in Skyrim, there's lots of junk that's not useful at all in any way. So you'll get used to picking up and what to leave down.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have a whole chest full of about 6 million embalming tools, and I'm sure at some point I'm going to put those to good use.
I loved being able.
There is one place we have to have charcoal and paper.
Yes, sir.
There's one spot, but you don't have to carry it around, because you can pick it up right there. But it's you don't have what you need to blah blah blah, blah, And so,
but if I turn around, it's on the desk behind me.
Yeah. It's not far away. Yeah. Because when I first did that, I was like, you mean, because I was so mad because I had seen so many pieces of paper and charcoal. You mean I was supposed to pick up one of those damn pieces of paper and carry it around with me? And I turned around. It's like, okay, it's right there, so it's fine.
Well, I already have 2 pieces of paper. I think one of my favorite things, though, was looting the skeletons. And it's like, this skeleton has 5 gold on it. Where? Yeah. Where did it have 5 gold on it? Where?
Where do you do the Baron's Eye crown and you find 4 flawless rubies and 5 gold?
And where their teeth used to be, that's where they keep all their gems and coins. Yeah. It's like just see them smile.
Yeah, I suppose you could close the jaw if there's still teeth in the face, and you could.
Well, I mean, you get, what is it? You get like bears will sometimes have rubies, and I found something on a horker one time. So
Like, why does this bear have a pair of boots?
yeah.
Maybe it was
Bears
chewing
don't
on them.
Did it eat a Nord and took his boots?
Well, the boots were probably tastier than the Nord, so yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
like
it's not fair to beat up on Skyrim just for that. I've got one of my best Fallout 4 drops ever was off a legendary Stingwing, and it was a combat shotgun.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, you get your legendary Rad Roach with a super sledge, or whatever.
I love the combat shotgun. I just love shotguns in general, but the combat shotgun is.
Oh, the shotguns were so much better in Fallout 3.
Really?
I thought I don't use them in 4. I just don't like them. But I used them all the time in 3.
No, you gotta get the automatic combat shotgun with a drum, and the biggest drum barrel. You make it automatic. You put the silencer on. Oh man, that thing is fucking awesome. I love it. With the powerful.
It's just not the same. It's not the same as the gun in 3.
Oh, Pat.
Well, it's not the same as the gun in 3 because there was like 4 guns in 3.
Yeah.
You had a hunting rifle, you had your sniper rifle, you had the combat shotgun, and then the power fist.
You got to just combine different variations of all those to one good one and junk all the others.
Yeah,
So weird. Hey guys, do you have any closing thoughts before we hop off the show for this evening?
I'm eminently interested in what Kara has to close with.
I'm drawing a blank here. Sorry. I don't think I'm going to entertain you other than the fact that as of right now, Fallout makes more sense to me than Skyrim. I just can't get over it. And I think it's going to take a day or two before I can open back up Skyrim again.
No, I do find it kind of weird that you're so traumatized by this event. Like, it seems to have taken you to the core in some fashion, which is semi-surprising. But I had you have the advantage of at least having played a Bethesda large open world game. Skyrim, I had never played any sort of open world game before. I'd never played a fantasy role-playing game before. This was my first exposure to any sort of game like this, and I found it extremely difficult to get into, and I'm really glad that I finally went back at it again and gave it a real chance and dug into the game, because it has led to this community that we found everyone together. But how first impressions as a beginner to the game, was it difficult to grasp at all, or hard? I mean, it's basically the same sort of setup and menu system as Fallout, sort of. I mean, basic premise of inventory and character development and that sort of thing, character creation and stuff.
Yeah, and that really honestly helped me to adapt to the whole world. I remember I had a hard time initially adapting to Fallout 4, particularly the crafting menu. It made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. But I don't know. Sometimes I'm not quick on the uptake too on basic things. I definitely have a very ditzy side to me, and it chooses at random when it's active. So that could be part of it. But honestly, I found it pretty interesting. I like that you had a choice right off the bat. Do you want to go with this dude or do you want to go with that dude? And the character creation was fun. I tried to make a Khajiit that looks as much like my own cat as possible. And I was just...
Is a black kitty option for Khajiit? I don't think they like this black.
Not full black, no. There are patches of lighter color, but I did as best as I could, and so she's.
Well, that's going to traumatize you too. Anytime that character takes some damage, you're going to look at your cat and go, "Oh."
Oh no, I didn't think about that.
Did you name it after your cat too?
No. I gave it a different name.
Oh,
I think I went with Talia
just name
Kirin
your
or something.
and live vicariously through your magic kitty in this fantastical world of beasts and
Yeah. And strange jet-fueled ghosts.
yeah, the horses that fly through space. I kind of jokingly said it on the Facebook page, but I think it was Santa Claus. Like that was Santa riding Rudolph, and he just finally took off.
That would make more sense to me at this point. I don't understand why a headless horseman would ride off into the night sky, well, blast off like freaking Team Rocket, and just disappear and become a tiny, beautiful, twinkling star. None of that made sense. I think.
Have you Googled to see if other people have had that same? If it's a common issue?
No, I haven't. I really should. The first thing I did was, just close out of the game and stay quiet for a minute.
Well, have you ever seen the spaceship come out of the sky in Fallout 4? Where it comes over your head, and you see it crash land, and you walk up, and there's a little alien guy there.
Yeah,
I've never seen it live happen. I've only ever stumbled across it. I remember Sherry saying she heard it once. Have you actually seen it fall from the sky, Dennis?
Yeah, it came right over. There's the western edge of Diamond City towards where the caves are.
For me, it came over Great Garden, actually. Is it Great Garden or is it Little Grey Garden or something?
I thought there was a rail pass or something. What is that? There's a settlement right here.
Yeah, that's near where I saw it.
What is... Oh, I remember what that settlement's called. It has some sort of crossing or something. I forget what it's called. It's one of those rail stops just west of Diamond City. Yeah, in the bend near the brewery or something, maybe even.
The crash site is kind of close to the brewery too.
Yeah, that way. But no, I've never actually seen the UFO fall from the sky. That's all.
I did. I had Nick with me, and his response was great. It was. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was kind of perfect for the moment. So that was nice. And I had Preston with me the second time I saw it, and I haven't seen it any more times. And his was less impressive.
Preston out.
Preston probably sent them on a mission to go help a settlement.
Okay, I'm going to make myself even more unlikable now. I like Preston.
The Jar Jar Binks of Fallout.
He drives me up a goddamn wall sometimes. But I like Preston. He's a good man with a good heart. He's just trying to do his best. But he still really doesn't understand how the hell a military works in terms of who gives whom the orders.
Yeah, he bosses the general around for some reason. It's kind of that's funny. So I actually tried to end the show 10 minutes ago. I don't know. I keep talking and I keep bringing up and I keep asking people questions and stuff, and I apologize. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us, all of our listeners. I'd like to thank Michelle for the email, Frank for the audio, and Kara, thank you for joining us and hopping on the show. Even though you weren't feeling the best, it's great to hear from you always. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me on in my strange state.
Oh, no, it's been wonderful. Dennis, wonderful to speak with you again. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
No problem. Good to be here.
And Pat, as always, thank you, sir, for guiding us through some nice emails and being a good participant in the show for this evening.
My pleasure, as always.
So on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the 66th episode of the Fallout Feed. And we will see you
in the wasteland.
Oh, thanks. In unison, everybody.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com. where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Skyrimatic Podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
Ta-da.